4. So much better. So much better. Okay, so you're going to give us a 20-minute, yeah right, I'm sorry, a 20-second pitch on what you did. What I'd like you to do is pick somebody from your group, and you don't have to. If everybody in your group is shy, that's okay. So if this were a real class, I might say, okay, you guys are going to videotape your pitch, you're going to make a Google slide deck of your pitch, you're going to draw some, whatever, however they want to communicate their pitch. But you guys are brave, you're all teachers or something like that. You're going to come up here and say, all right, we tackled the problem of, what? We tackled it because it what's happened to me. I can't stand that. I lost a phone because of that. Why did you pick that one? What did you make? And then we might ask you 1 or 2 questions. We're not going to grill you too much. Now, if you're not done, if your prototype is like, oh my God, we're like halfway through, we'll use our imagination. Just tell us what would have been there, right? A gold-plated whatever, that sort of thing. So, who wants to go first? Thank you. Look at this. This is fantastic. I had 2 hands at once. Come on down. So it's a 20-second pitch.
What about 20 seconds?
What problem did you pick? Why did you pick it? What did you solve? How did you solve it?
Okay, so we looked at the safety aspect about leaving things on the beach and not feeling secure about them. So you would have obviously a waterproof, sandproof box where you
hold on. So you tackled more than one problem. Right?
Well, if you're burying it, you don't want it to be messy. So your phone just slots in the box and you secure the box. You bury the box and this little clip attaches to the corner of your towel or the umbrella or the chair or the bag, and it's buried but you know where it is because it's attached. Okay, so if anyone tries to dig it up, obviously they've got to dismantle it from everything else you've attached it to. So that's our design.
All right, let's hear it. If you were a teacher, can you just give me one really? So the whole thing about making is, you know, it's the process, but this post thing, the thing that happens afterwards, that's the best part. Like, what are some of the questions? So just give me one brilliant question that we might ask her that would be like, oh yeah, that would really make her think a little harder. Or a group might go back and go, yeah, I didn't think about that. So, somebody?
I was just thinking, but this reminds me of.
Wait, I was just thinking isn't a question.
Wait, well.
This happens to me in 1st grade a lot. Anybody have a question? My mom went to. Oh,
Can you make it like a lock somehow?
Yes.
Around it?
Yeah, I mean, we just had what we. But this
that's
could
a helpful
be.
comment.
This could be improved. You can have it lockable to your umbrella because, you know, walking off the beach with an umbrella is a little bit more noticeable.
What happens when the tide comes in?
I don't go that close.
She goes to lake beaches. So. Okay, thank you so much. There's nothing over here. Come on down. That was a good 20-second pitch. And a really good idea. Is anybody like, I'm making money on this?
Okay, so we decided to tackle a few problems. So we were talking about the sound amplifying sound. So we made a box at the bottom and then the spot is here for the sound to come out. And then we added a portable charger that's already attached in there. And then we wanted to protect it from the glare, so we added the shield. And then to reflect some of the rays to keep it cool, we added like tin foil and something to reflect the sun's rays from being on the phone.
You say a portable charger, so what's actually charging it?
There's a little portable,
like those,
a little battery powered
Mophie kind of thing?
Yeah,
okay.
that would be attached on the inside.
It's got it all. All right, stay there.
Solar panel.
Now, somebody give me the kind of question. That really was a good question, though. The kind of question that you would ask students to kind of get right. We're trying to get them to think a little deeper, so that they could have. You could actually do this whole project without thinking too much. You really could. You could just be like, oh yeah, I once saw, and just build that. So it's the questions afterwards that gets them to really analyze and go to those higher levels. So come on, give me one of those questions.
What materials are you using? What do you do about the water and the charging?
So his question added another issue to it. So that's good, but what if? So okay, that's a great question. Somebody said over here.
What materials are you using?
Yeah, what materials did you use?
We used cardboard and.
So what's the next better? Not a better, but what's the next follow-up question to what materials did you use? How much and why? Why did you choose those materials?
Well, you said you wanted to recycle them for later, so we wanted to use the least amount of materials as possible.
Right, they're thinking about this. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. Another group. Come on down.
All right, well, we tried to tackle as many problems as we could.
This is the overachiever group. Oh my God.
Right, so the box,
You've been here before.
right, actually make it out of plastic in reality, and it's going to look like a box of baby wipes. So it's the kind of thing that's not really going to attract someone that's going to be trying to steal. Lid opens, and then there are adjustable, you can change the angle of these flaps. So all the hinges would have to be relatively tight so that the wind didn't blow it around while you were holding it. And then there's a clear coating, it's like an actual sealed box that would still
Where'd you
be.
get that clear coating from?
I took it from underneath the table. It wasn't on the top. I went through the trash.
Yes, we were good scavengers.
Yeah.
They didn't steal your phone, they stole your plastic.
What's mine is yours.
You won't be
Right,
using
you would have
that
to make
back.
sure that this was still touch sensitive so you could still get your.
Alright. Come on, guys, a deeper question. So the I give him another problem. That's a great question. Why did you? What materials did you use, and why? What's another one?
But I was gonna leave the beach. I know I have baby wipes with me like 24/7.
You don't have to answer that, but that's another kind of question. Right? Another question you might ask is, did you encounter any problems during your construction? So you want to kind of have them think about the process. Was there any particular skill that you brought into? Was there a reason why you picked that one particular issue? Was there a reason why you picked that one particular solution? Have you ever really experienced this? So you ask those kind of questions, get them to go a little deeper. What would you do differently next time? What would you do differently next time? And after seeing the other two, was there an idea that you might steal? No, you like your ideas. Please. Okay, thank you. All right. I'd like to keep going, but I hate not to let everybody go. So is anybody dying to go? That's okay if you're dying to go. Dying to go. You get the 10-second pitch. No. Okay, you're done. No.
That's an equal share of the ADHD, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know that I can go in that short of time. So, charging was an issue, so we added the googly eye chargers on the top of here for our Cellbrella. So, like many of you, we discovered that we needed to put this into the sand, but we wanted to put everything all in one. So this is like a little cabana for you, a little bit of privacy, because when you're aging, you don't want everybody to see you getting up not so gracefully from the beach. So you have this little cabana that you can hide in, provides you, reduces sun glare. This portion where you will put your phone actually digs into the sand. We have the solar panels here, this little pipe cleaner-esque thing. No, it's a cable. Running power down to you, also fans, so that if any sand gets in the way, those it out of the way. Ignore the fact that it is falling apart right now.
It's a prototype.
It's a prototype. But mostly held together with glue and pipe cleaner. So lightweight materials, biodegradable. Good for the universe.
I want my googly eye container back. when
Googly
you're
eye
done.
container when I'm done. I didn't glue it down. We
Thank you.
didn't steal everything off the table. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so can you, question? You want to present? You're dying to present? You can.
No, I'm not. I thought everyone had to.
No, you don't? Sure, the pressure. So something else I can share with you would be a rubric for grading them. But just give me an idea, what are some of the characteristics of that you would want to emphasize? Because of course, rubrics you give to the kids ahead of time. They're not a surprise that afterwards like, aha, here's how I'm scoring you. They got to know ahead of time. And somebody said inside that other presentation, which was a good point, if you spell out your rubric really too specifically, that's what they're going to make. So we wouldn't want to put in the rubric that you will make something out of 5 pieces of cardboard, that sort of thing. What are some things though that we could maybe score on it, and that we might even add to it that we didn't do here?
I would probably score them on how environmentally friendly their prototype was.
Yeah, that was one of the things we said at the beginning, absolutely. So, and how we would measure that, we'd have to talk, but that's again, you get 2 or 3 people together, like I might be like, how do I measure environmentalness? But I bet we could.
And you can have the kids develop that too. I mean,
Absolutely.
even when
Should
you
be
look
part
at
of it.
Danielson,
Yeah.
that's a 4.
Nice.
I would give every material a price before we start, and then it would be the cheapest.
Sure.
Whoever made the cheapest.
So I actually don't recommend you do this at first, because if you think about what an engineer does, not that we're doing everything what an engineer does, but you don't say to an engineer first, here's your budget. You say to an engineer, here's my problem. I need to get something from here to here. So, I'll show you this on our sort of visible slide deck, but if you put money on it right away, I think it's too early to constrict it, but that's not the best. So when I was asking what's the next step might be, all right, I need you to take your your prototype, and I need you to make it a little more cost efficient. So cardboard's going to cost you $5 a sheet, and Google eyes are $20 an eye, that sort of thing. So that's great. So
But then you also can open it up where you can let them negotiate with you for anything that's not there. And I am the negotiator. So kids like come and they have to like haggle with me, and that makes it like kind of fun and exciting.
So something that wasn't on the table, like the googly eye container, you could go to the negotiator and say, listen, and I tried to. This was obviously whatever I could fit on a cart, but whatever's in your room. If the kid says, look, is it okay if I use that? Keep your mind open to okay, why not? Let's do that.
And oftentimes that brings in great math conversations. Well, if this one is a nickel, then how much is this one? That's and how much bigger is it than that? And all these different types of comparisons.
Can we get the lights back, and we'll try to go back to this? Okay, so as they're dimming the lights for me, if they can figure out how to do that, can you talk to me and give me a word or a very short phrase that would describe the experience we just went through? Because we're now, so remember, we're only on the second slide, and the point here was to define the maker mindset. We defined the maker mindset by actually doing it. So what happened in this that will allow us to define this? And then I'll show you some examples of maybe how that's expressed in our district. So, yeah, thank you.
If it's okay if I use more than one word. And
More than one word, okay, sure.
Here goes. And it was such a powerful moment for me. And it was nothing personal at all, okay. But I felt left out. And I have to tell you, I felt very frustrated. And when I'm with so many hundreds of kids during the week, what I'm going around, just do it, do it. But it just zoned in the leaders. And it's not that other children maybe don't care, it's just they're not the vocal ones. And it was a real frustration I felt. And I know I have kids crying sometimes, and I'm thinking, no, it was so legit. So it gave me a lot of empathy to the significance of collaboration and how it's a give, take, and it's some kids who are shyer. It doesn't mean that they don't care or they're not valued.
So
but it was very powerful.
So making should be inclusive, it should be collaborative. We rushed through it, right? So I didn't, I wasn't around here saying, hey, this person's left out. If you want to be left out today, that's, we had to do it in 15. You did this in 15 minutes, guys. Like in a classroom, you wouldn't rush it so much. But great point. Something else to describe the experience. Even the obvious. What happened in this thing that we could say, okay, here's what making is. Making is, it's collaborative, it's inclusive.
The entire day is wrapped around being innovative.
Innovative. So you were doing something that had never been